Yep, there we go. Now we get some audio. All right, just figured I'd jump in here a little bit early just to get things started off. Um, and I've got the chat open so I can see if you ask me any questions. And I think the I think the title of this is a little bit misleading. I wasn't trying to infer that I was going to have Jeremy Dewitte on here today. That will never happen because he will not come clean on his fake military service. He won't do it. Anytime anybody asks him about it, he shuts it down. No, Kate, he won't be on. Sorry. That's something that will never. I don't think anybody will ever get him to talk about his phony military service on YouTube or on any type of public interview. I don't see that happening. But what I did want to do is I just wanted to throw out a live just so I could answer some questions. If anybody has any questions about stolen valor and the whole stolen valor thing that's going on, it's pretty much rampant nowadays. I mean, you see guys on the street corners begging for change that disabled veteran and all this other stuff, and I'm sure there's a few of them out there, but for the most part, most of them, yeah, probably not. Um, yeah, I haven't seen any videos from him in the last couple of days. His last video, I wanted to talk about that first. And then I'm going to get into the actual stolen valor, federal statutes, the laws. And then we're going to talk about Jeremy's uniform a little bit. Then I think I'll show you what I found on the Defense Manpower website in regards to Jeremy. I looked him up, and he would have been on active duty during the time frame I put in there. And of course, there's no record of him ever serving. And we've already got the results of that from MPRC. Dino got the official records last January, and he never served in any branch of the military. And then we'll go over some of his felony stuff that's still out there, and the problem I have with what's going on right now in Florida with his charges. Thank you, I appreciate that. No, I haven't popped my riser on a jump. I've popped it when I've been on the ground, though, to keep from getting dragged. But hey, thanks. I appreciate that. Hello, Penny. I'll try and bounce back and forth on the chat as well. So, first thing I want to talk about is the Stolen Valor Act from 2005. And I'll bring that up on the screen so you can see it. And let's see. Yeah, it was signed into law in 2006. Now, the original statute here, basically, if you were wearing or proclaiming yourself to be a military veteran with certain awards, decorations, medals, so on and so forth, it was a felony violation. However, I want to say it was like 2008 or 2009, there was a Supreme Court case that came up, and it was found that this was violating these people's First Amendment rights, which I don't know how we can give somebody the right to just flat out lie, but that's pretty much what it is. And it's just it's horrible. So then Barack Obama signed into law Public Law 113-12 from the 113th Congress, which made some changes to the original one. And this was the biggest portion of it. With intent to obtain money, property, or other tangible benefits fraudulently. So if someone holds themselves out to be a special forces soldier with all the stuff on the uniform, and they receive some tangible benefit for that, then it's a violation of the law. There's no doubt in my mind that Jeremy, every time he goes to meet a client, he has to throw in there that he was special forces and blah, blah, blah. and in some way to gain their business. There's absolutely no doubt in my mind he does that. Can we prove it right now? No, but there's no reason why the Florida law enforcement hasn't gone after this. Even the funeral home said he tells them, yep, you're right. So the minute he does that, that's receiving a tangible benefit from his fake military service. Now, Florida, and I'm bringing that up on the screen right now, the Florida statutes, they actually have a statute that falls in line with stolen valor. It's a third-degree felony, and I have no idea why they haven't tried to do that with him. Person walking around falsely portraying themselves as a service member but not accepting, they could do it. They can do it. However, there's some things that they can't do. They can walk around and play dress up and pretend and all that stuff, but if they have certain medals, and I'll go back and we'll go over that as a matter of fact. If they are the addition of certain other medals, section 704, anyway, it's the, well, right now, the silver star that Jeremy has on that dress green uniform, I would just love to rip that right off of his uniform with him wearing it. I would do that too. I would tear that jacket right off of his butt. But that's one of them. So right there, that's a violation. Even if they're playing dress up and they've got those awards on, combat awards, a combat action badge, a combat infantry badge, any of that stuff, that's a violation. So let's get back to the Florida one. This is, like I said, this is a third-degree felony. But I don't understand why they didn't tack that on to his impersonating a police officer or file an additional charge under fraudulent practices in the statutes from Florida. Another third-degree felony. They could have stacked that up on him. Yeah, you're right, guys. I hope he does a lot of time too, but I don't know. It's almost like he's the Teflon Don. He seems to get away with an awful lot of shit. Let's take a look at his uniform. So it's really hard to see, but all the ribbons he's got on there at the very top, the last ribbon you can see, that is a silver star. Okay, that is a Valor award that's issued to somebody that's just a total badass. Yeah, Dinkweed here is not that guy. Also, you can't really see a lot of the badges. He's wearing a marksmanship badge. I didn't wear one after I left the 82nd Airborne. I never wore one. It's always been my air assault wings, my airborne wings, air crew, and then my combat action badge. But he's wearing crossed arrows. That's an 18 series MOS. That blue cord he's wearing on the right side, I know all you infantry guys are losing your mind over this, that he's wearing the blue cord. Let's see. Yep, Purple Heart, Silver Star, but not accepting anything from anyone, just walking around. They say that's stolen valor, but you know what? For the federal law that's in place, you have to get a federal agency to prosecute that and file the charges. The FBI just doesn't do it. They'll go after somebody who has done this to garner VA benefits. There was one guy just recently prosecuted. He wasn't in the military. He embellished his career. He got $78,000 worth of VA benefits. He was trying to get a job as a Department of the Army civilian. They looked into it, found out it was all bullshit. And lo and behold, he was charged. And I believe he's doing the full year on it, plus restitution of the $76,000 or $78,000 that he got in benefits. That's the problem with Jeremy, is getting the FBI to even look at it. It's not a high-profile case. It's not, chasing terrorists or nothing like that. Thank you, G. I appreciate that. Yeah, I like that. Narcissist, sociopath, compulsive liar, stuck in adolescence. I don't even think he made it to adolescence. I think he's still like playing soldier when he was a kid. Um, and if you look at some of the badges he's got on here, the expert marksmanship badge, uh, no special forces officer in the world is going to be wearing a marksmanship badge. I guarantee it. He's got the military freefall badge, which I believe is higher in precedent than the air assault wings, which should be one over. You could wear them either way, I believe. Same with airborne wings. He's also got up under that lapel, I do believe he has got a combat infantry badge, which again, that's a violation of it. Fake account who's a scammer on Facebook. He thought I was a woman, and I told him I was a guy, and he claimed to be a U.S. Marines. Yeah, you're probably not going to get a reply. I got a case I'm working right now. This guy did like 10 years in jail, but he's doing all these crazy jailhouse videos. And now, if you start watching his videos, he's got a bunch of stuff in there. I was special forces and blah, blah, blah. And I left a soldier in the quicksand to die. And none of his stories make sense. The math doesn't add up. And when I checked the manpower database, yeah, it wasn't in there. I'll show you that as well. Let me see here. I gotta go down to this. Oh, let me open it up because I know I saved it. Oh, yeah, it's right here. So, Department of Defense Manpower Data Center. I can, if I have some idea as to when they were on active duty after 1985, I could punch in a date, and it's going to list their data here. Well, this guy, somebody wanted me to check this guy, and I threw a date in, and he did, in fact, serve in the military. Let me show you Jeremy's. Yeah, Jeremy's got nothing, nada, never. And we already knew that. I just did this just to show that, due diligence, looked him up. He's not in the defense manpower data center database, so it is what it is. I don't know if you guys want to talk about his felony stuff. Jeremy states in one of his videos that he was enhance the photo. Yeah, I wish I could. I've tried to really get a good close up of that. I've got like a copy of a copy that somebody gave me of that photo. Yeah, you're right. Air assault, Halo, all those are all in the same group, depending though. Now, if you were an SF guy, what would be higher than air assault? Just asking. I know at Bragg, it was my air assault badge was lower than my airborne wings. So, but it's all classified. Yeah, he said that in his last video at the very end. He says some, these retired guys that have been retired and think they got classifications and blah, blah. Didn't make any sense. I'm thinking he's talking about me, and I'm thinking he's trying to roll into the secret squirrel BS, which every one of these phonies does it. My records are sealed. They're classified. You can't get them, blah, blah, blah. You can get anybody's records if you submit to the MPRC. Unfortunately, it's taken like 10 months to 12 months just to get a return. I've got 10 or 12 of them out there right now. I do the manpower database lookup on them to see if they ever were on active duty, and then I just sit back and wait. I file the standard form 180s, send it off to MPRC, and just sit back and wait. Yep, Pathfinder. They just deactivated the Pathfinders that at Bragg not long ago. I can't remember, a couple years maybe. I think they were one of the last Pathfinder units. Guys still go to Pathfinder school. Those guys are pretty cool. Do a lot of good stuff. Somebody told me that photo of Dewitte in the dress green jacket's a wedding photo. I don't know. I haven't been able to validate that. That's just a rumor that's out there. Let's talk about his felony stuff. So Jeremy claims that he was airborne qualified since he was 18 years old. Well, he was born in 1980, so in 98, sometime during 98, before his birthday in February of 99, he would have had to have gone to airborne school. I don't see where he would have went to airborne school because he caught his first felony in May, and it was final was in 2001, and they revoked his probation because he violated it. And I found something interesting in this document. It was a 5-page document, and here it is. For the violation of his probation, it was 5/17/2001. So, and when you look at that, it kicked me out. It kicked me out. Sorry about that. Anyway, it said that he was in possession of a firearm, but I didn't see any more felony cases brought up against him. So in 98, he catches a felony. 2001, he gets sent to jail for violating his probation. When did he go to airborne school? When did he go to RIP, Ranger Indoctrination Program, or I forget what they call it now. It's had several different names. But he said he was with 3rd to 75th Rangers out of Benning. When did he do that? There's just so many holes in his story. I've sent messages. I've tried calling his work number, and I don't get any answers on his work number. I don't know if he just doesn't answer numbers he doesn't know anymore or what. Let's see where we're at here with the chat. Yeah, you better wear the air assault badge first above the airborne if you're at Campbell. You're right there. His fake retirement ceremony. Oh, that could be. But he only said he had the 3 different times: 10 years, 12 years, 14 years. 3 different utterances from his lips. His lips were moving. He was lying. You can believe it. So I don't think he had a retirement. Let's see what else we got in here. No, it's obvious he never served in the military, and he didn't really do his research and didn't do his math, because it's always the math that gets these guys. When you start looking at their birth date and all the time slots that they would have to meet to even come close to what he's claiming, there's no possible way. Yeah, priority of case workload. These guys, especially in Florida, those guys stay really busy. I had a call into the satellite office in Orlando, the FBI office, and I haven't got a call back. I just had some questions for him. And I'm really trying to refrain from talking to the sheriff's department about how come you guys aren't charging them with this. It would be very easy. There was a video out of the Department of Homeland Security guy stating that the only reason he hired Jeremy was because he was a veteran. So it would be really easy for them to do something with that. I don't think Jeremy could get on a base, actually. You got to have an ID card, or it depends on the base. Some bases are open, but I don't think he would be stupid enough to try and get on a base wearing that getup. It may be a retirement party, but it wouldn't be on a military installation, especially one that requires an ID to get on. Geez, even Fort Devens has been closed. They've got a small reserve thing up there in Massachusetts. Still got to have an ID card to get on post. They have to be able to identify you. And if you're wearing a military uniform, you better have a U.S. Army ID card, a CAC card. Because if you don't, or a retired card. I've got a retired card. I don't know about the charges in Chicago. I don't know if or why they got dropped, or how they got dropped, or what went on with that. Why are you guys just looking at this? Let me just go back to this so you can see my ugly mug. If any of you would like to see, I did this morning. I contemplated this. I went upstairs, dug in the back of my closet, pulled out my AFES plastic bag, which you military guys will know all about that, and I brought my dress blue jacket down. I even tried it on. It still fits me. It still fits me pretty good too. I've stayed in pretty decent shape since I retired. But if you want to see it, I'll throw the uniform on the back of my chair real quick. Give me 1 second, and I'll talk about the ribbon stack. So this is my dress blue uniform that I had when I retired. Let's see if we can get it up here. I'll make it a little bit bigger so you guys can see it better. So this is the old style dress blues, the new Army service uniform. I'm a 10 sleever, by the way. These are the old service stripes that go on your sleeves. That's the old style. The new style, it's just the slashes and my retired master sergeant. There you go. But when you look at the ribbons, this would be, you know, somebody like me who's done a whole lot of time in, and they're all in precedent of order from, from pretty much here down. All of these are all like participation ribbons and medals. Army service, overseas service, Kuwait liberation, and I'm missing a couple on here. I'm missing my MSM. And then from there up, good conduct, Army achievement, ARCOM, Bronze Star. Then my air assault, airborne, my senior air crew, because I wasn't an MP my entire time. I spent 8 years in the aviation field and then went back to the MPs for the promotion abilities. Just wasn't going anywhere, and went over to that. That's how I got my senior crew wings. And then the combat action badge that I got in 2006 in Iraq. And then my normal stuff, my regimental affiliation, the MPs. This was a meritorious, I forget what the hell they call it now. A meritorious service ribbon that we got. I was in the unit when this was issued to the unit, so I get to wear it all the time. The stuff on the right-hand side, you'll see guys wearing like 3 or 4 ribbons over here. If you're assigned to a unit that received those, you wear them while you're in that unit. And when you leave that unit, you have to take them off. I thought you guys might get a kick out of that. That'll go right back in my closet. Yes, I was for a little while. I went active duty. I got out in 92 right after the Gulf War. And I did reserve. I did guard time. And then toward the end of my guard, well, not toward the end of my guard time, I was AGR. Then I went over to Iraq. And when I came back, I went Title 10 until I retired because I went into what they call sanctuary. So I had 18 years of active duty time. And because I was an M-Day soldier before I did the AGR, well, I wasn't AGR, it was Title 32 on orders. So it wasn't AGR. Same benefits, but it wasn't AGR. Let's see, unit citation. Yep, that was just a meritorious unit citation. Then you get the presidential unit citations, and then they have some other ones from different places. The E4 Mafia, go brother, you guys make the world go round. Yeah, you know, this is what I found out about Jeremy's YouTube channel. If you leave a comment and you go back like the next day to see if it's still there for you. But if you log out and go there, it's not there. Because I've left messages and comments on almost all of his videos, and I can see them, nobody else can. So that's pretty crazy. Padlock keys. I'm not following you on that one. But if we're going to start talking about some of the crazy stuff, yeah, I used to send privates down to the supply room to get me a 5-gallon bucket of rotor wash. That's worked out pretty well. Box of grid squares. Yes, AGR does. National Guard overall has a way faster promotion track. Kind of crazy. You know, most guys retire from active duty as, you know, E7, E8, or first sergeant. But man, it seems like in the National Guard, if you do your time, you can become a sergeant major, and just so long as you know, you didn't kill somebody, or it's kind of crazy. Never borrowed any money. 5 minutes later, he's bragging about 34 credit cards. Yeah. Let me get a little drink of coffee here. So, I mean, I just wanted to go over this. A couple of things about stolen valor. If you think somebody is committing stolen valor, yeah, Humvee key, that's awesome. How about the, I just said, somebody just posted this the other day. There was a picture of two privates running along with plastic bags. They were getting exhaust samples. Yeah, Toby. Yeah, Toby. That's because they're not competing. They're only competing within their unit of the National Guard. Uh, they're not competing like you do active duty on a nationwide list. Oh, so let's see. Oh, jeez, that's horrible. I need to make me smaller. So, like I said, I wanted to get this out there and just kind of, you know, answer any questions that anybody has. Um, I don't know what the hell's going on with my. You know, eventually I will learn this, and I'll be able to click a few things and make it do what I want. Yeah, keys to the drop zone. Keys to Area J used to be the big thing at Bragg, because Area J was a training area up behind division headquarters back years ago when I was there. And yeah, we used to send them, hey, go up to division headquarters, get the keys to Area J. And they'd come back all this, guy yelled at me for sending. Lots of funny stuff you do. Earl David Warson. No, that name is not familiar to me. Sorry. You know, he needs to do time. As far as the stolen valor stuff goes, you know what? He could save himself so much bad publicity and all of this stuff by coming out and giving an honest apology and admitting to it. Uh, that would take the wind out of all of these videos in regards to the stolen valor. We don't have to keep bashing him about it, because once he comes out in the public, apologizes, and stops doing it, we got no fuel for him. If you know, it would be so easy. Everybody knows he's a liar. Everybody knows he was never in the military. It's proven fact. Everybody knows there's no such thing as a classified service record. Everybody's service record is there. You can get it with a Freedom of Information Act request. There's no such thing as this black ops. People in the military don't even use that term, black ops. The guys over at Guardians of the Green Beret, they've already slammed them. A couple of the other websites have already slammed them. I mean, it's, if you search Stolen Valor, Jeremy Dewitte, it comes up with tons of links. But I guess Jeremy, in his twisted mind, somehow or another thinks bad publicity is still publicity. That's the only thing I can think of. Yeah, NTC. I only ended up going there one time, and one time was more than enough. Tell you, it gets cold out in the desert at NTC. We went over a Thanksgiving one year, and we got there right as it got dark, and man, I froze until morning, to, get all my stuff out and put up. Graphivir. Nice. Yeah, hardcore, but a little off. We're all a little off that spend any time at 82nd at division. But I mean, we don't back down. We don't slow down either. I mean, I've been retired 9 years now, and going on 10, and I'm still in great shape. At least I think I am. Other than I drink coffee all day long, but I think he's going to go to jail. I really think he's going to go to jail just on the impersonating a law enforcement officer. All the elements of the crime are there. I mean, no matter how he tries to deflect it to something else, he's full of crap. Yeah, yes, it is. Worst butter bar experience I had. Charlie 324th, Hunter Army Airfield. I got a brand new butter bar that was straight from West Point. And he knew everything. Just ask him. And it was my very first position as a platoon sergeant, active duty. I was an E6P. He was horrible, horrible. And I just let him. The commander would tell him, "You need to listen to your platoon sergeant." He wouldn't listen to me. I just let him do some of the most stupid things in the world. And then when he got his ass ate out about 5 or 6 times by the commander, he would start asking my opinion. And after that, once he finally learned, we had a really good relationship. That reminds me, somebody posted it the other day about, yeah, we had this new lieutenant come in and he got in an argument with the sergeant major, and he told the sergeant major, "You need to add ease. I still outrank you." Brave move. I hope it worked out for him. Realistically, that 85-year thing I think is crap. He might do 5 or 6, maybe. I don't think he'll do any more than that. I mean, he's got 57 cases. That was the last count I had. He had 50, let me bring this up. No, wrong one. Sorry. He had 57 total cases, I believe. You know what? If this thing makes me log... No, it doesn't. So he had 57 different cases, 4 pages. And if you look them up by type, look at all these criminal felonies he's got open. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on this page. 8, 9, 10 that are open. A couple of reclosed, and 1, 2, 3, 4 closed. Just in felonies. You got to be a freaking soup sandwich to get shit like that. You just don't care. You don't listen. You do your own thing and think you're good to go. But obviously he's just a serial imposter. Between his stolen valor and his military claims and telling people he was a police officer. It's all on video, and he keeps saying that these videos are all edited, heavily edited, especially the ones from Real World Police. Real World Police, man, they're right on top of it. They get that stuff really quick, and I don't think they're editing any of that. That's all just Jeremy. Do I own a... No, actually, I live in a very small house. It was built in 1867 by my great-great-grandparents. We've got 3 rooms downstairs and 3 rooms upstairs. It's only 2 bedrooms. And it's tiny. I've only got 6.5-foot ceilings. But like I said, it was built in 1868, so... And they'll probably gurney me out of here and put me in my uniform when they put me in the ground, whenever my expiration date comes up. What else we got here? Yeah, there's some insurance fraud. SF guys, yeah, I know as an MP, '06, '07 over in Iraq, we took really good care of the support guys that supported us. It was kind of funny too because we had an infantry unit that was guarding the fob we were staying on, and we were the ones going out in the city every day. And that's because we had to go out to all the Iraqi police stations, do training, do patrols, and all that. So I felt kind of bad for him being stuck sitting on the fob, guarding the fob. Uh, but I was glad that we were actually out on the streets. Yeah, Criminal Minds. Yep. You might see him there. Yeah, there's no telling. I don't know if his lawyer might be doing the pro bono stuff just for the publicity, I guess. Not much to catch you up on, Tim. We were just talking. I went over the Stolen Valor Acts from '05 and 13 and how they changed. I went over the Florida law that is basically a stolen valor law. That's a third-degree felony in Florida. Why he hasn't been charged with that, I don't know. We went over uniforms, manpower database. Jeremy's not in there, of course. I did show an example of somebody that is in there. We talked a little bit about his felony stuff, and I'm pretty much getting ready to wrap it up. Uh, I mean, 30 minutes on a Monday at lunchtime, I don't want to take up everybody's lunch time. I'm still working on trying to get a couple of more people to come in here, a couple more veterans who want to give their perspective. And, I'd love to get Jeremy on here just to ask him, dude, I don't care why you did it, but you need to fess up to what you did because you're going to take away so much negative publicity. But the only thing I can figure is he loves the negative publicity. I don't get it. I don't know why. In Iraq, I was in Mosul. We had two of the ERBs, the Emergency Response Battalions. We had Hamadat. We had we had a few more. I can't remember all the names. Um, they just it sucked. It was like herding cats trying to train those guys. It really was. I mean, it's pretty bad when you lay out a patrol route and you go to them and say, "Hey, we're doing this patrol route." Show them on their map, and they're like, "Oh no, we can't go there. IEDs." Well, how do you know there's IEDs there? Probably because he was planting them last night, and we always made them lead when we'd roll out. Yeah, I got a couple days in the military. Thanks, James. I appreciate that. So, were you guys east of the Andrew? Were you guys east of the river or west of the river? Rawa sounds familiar. Anna, I'm not sure. Were you in Mosul? Yeah, Jeremy, he got charged with that too. He recorded a phone call. Uh, recorded a phone call, and Florida is a two party consent state, so you actually have to have consent of both parties when you're recording. Yeah, Penny, if you work for it, you can get it. I was a high school dropout. I went back, got my high school diploma, went in the military, and all of my combined service, I ended up with 21 years active duty and 32 years, 10 months for pay, which worked out really great. Thanks, James. Appreciate it. A new call with his girlfriend. Hmm. Yeah, real world police, man. They get that stuff really quick. So you were up above Erbil. At least that's what I'm thinking because we used to go to the Hook to it was kind of like a break for us. We'd go up to Hook up in the Kurdish area just to take a break. So you must have been up Erbil or above Erbil actually if you were up by Syria. Crazy place. Oh, yeah. Forgot to turn my phone off. to crit. Oh, if you've ever, Toby, if you've ever seen the video, there's a video out on YouTube of this massive IED that erupts in front of a truck. That was our second platoon coming out of Tikrit, coming back up to Mosul. That was nuts. Yeah, you probably did. We, see, I was there 06, 07. We used to have to go out with the SF guys because they weren't allowed to go out anymore because they had to have Iraqi police. Iraqi police wouldn't go out with them because they were scared of them. So we had to go with them. And we did quite a few missions with the SF guys. And I'm glad we did because, man, I'll tell you, they were Johnny spot on a lot of stuff. And we had a guy, his call sign was Glasgow 6. And he was from Florida. And I think he was 12th group, the guard group. And we used to call him Baywatch 6 because he had like the neatly trimmed beard and he was tan and he always wore khakis and shit. And we used to bust his balls about being Baywatch 6 when we go out with him. He was a great guy though. As a matter of fact, I got a video. I put together a helmet cam out of a, I'm trying to get some of the video off it, an old Sony DV cam. And I had a little cigarette camera on my helmet. And I got a raid. Now, Baywatch 6, he was like fluent in Arabic. And we did one mission. And the minute they screwed up kicking the door in, he just starts screaming at them in, of course, cuss words. Get in there, you effing idiots, blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking to myself, this guy speaks fluent Arabic and he's screaming at him in English. But I'll have to post that because that was pretty cool for back then. There weren't any such thing as GoPros. Guys, I got to cut it off. We're going on 40 minutes. I appreciate everybody coming on. Some great questions, some good banter. I wish I could get Jeremy to come on. I really do. I think if he came on and apologized for it, that would just take that much of a level of crap away from him. 19th SF group. Nice. All right. Hey, if you're not a subscriber, make sure you subscribe. Hit the bell. You'll get notified when new stuff comes in. Maybe toward the end of the week, I can get something straightened out. And, I'd really like to get Blue Bacon on here just to get his perspective. His military career is a little bit different than mine. And he just recently got out. He went in the Guard. I'd love to get him on here or me on his. I don't care. And we could talk a little more about the Stolen Valor stuff. So anyway, hey, have a great afternoon. It's Monday. I know you got a long week ahead of you. I got to go back to work tomorrow. But just have a great day. Stay safe. Stay healthy. And the pandemic's coming down. I think it's winding down. Hopefully we'll be back to normal this summer. I'm going to be getting my motorcycle out this week. I'll probably have a video up. Well, I got a 60-degree day coming up, so I'll have the bike out on the road, and I'll be posting up a video on that as well. So with that, have a great day.